What you're about to watch was not recorded in a studio. It was not planned, it was not scripted. It happened on a moving bus, somewhere in Lagos, in the month of May 2026. And within hours, it had been shared across every major platform in Nigeria. The man speaking is a bus driver, an Yoruba man. Not a politician, not a professor, not an activist with a microphone or a manifesto. Just a man who drives people from one place to another for a living. And on this day, he decided he had something to say.
If you be you're very useless. If you're in Nigeria, you are useless. I swear. How can you be buying for 1,320 and you be happy? Only you the auto then sing you about Jobalo. About Jobalo ni Tinubu to the Payito. Hello, Ida. It's not better you serve the Satan that you are accusing. All of you go commit fornication. We're not going to sleep with yourself. We're not going to say Satan. What did Satan do you? We're never ready for anyone in this country. This country, until you fight, you will never have your freedom. Freedom is very precious. Look at Boko Haram. It's in Oyo State. From Kwara to Oyo State to Lagos. He go reach all of you. I swear, as they behead that man head. Now so they go behead Tinubu head one day. They go behead him Papa him. No, you don't even know him Papa. They go behead him in son head. You look at me. I'm not afraid. Look at me properly. Very useless country. They look at me. They go behead the head of Sheyi Tinubu. They go behead the head of Olulemi Tinubu. They go behead the head of Pastor Adebole. They go behead all of them. They go behead the head of Pastor Tunde Bakare. Because Pastor Tunde Bakare reached Jonathan death in 2014 when Jonathan wanted to increase fuel to 121. Pastor Tunde Bakare said Jonathan must die. If you don't kill corruption, corruption will kill us. What are we doing now? Corruption is doing you what? Corruption has buried you. You are all stupid in this country for allowing a drug addict, a certificate forger. A certificate forger is your president, and you claim you go to school. Your schools are useless. If you go to any Nigerian school, you didn't go to any school. You are an educated illiterate. That's all of you are. Educated illiterate. All of you. A certificate forger. An identity thief. Bola Tinubu is not his name. His name is Amodaya Kini. He doesn't have ancestry in Nigeria. He's from Gambia, Senegambia. That's where he's from. When he came to your country, he bought all the institutions. He bought Adebole. He bought Kumuyi. He bought Tunde Bakare. He bought Wole Soyinka, that graduate professor. He bought all the elders. Tinubu made us to know who is now the real people with conscience. Nigerians have nobody with conscience. If you are praying, no God answer you, because the prayer of a sinner is abomination to that God. Even that God is abominable for watching his children to be slaughtered. Where is God? You are calling every day and he can't save you. Where is God? Show us that God. You always show us that God. If a God can wait, he's not aware of his people dying every day, and you are praying to that God, are you deceiving yourself? You have 4 refineries, none of them is working. Some of you tell me now I should go to Aso Rock and go and talk this to Tinubu. If I get to Aso Rock, me I go personally fight Tinubu. That's why it's already dead. Look at the dead man ruling Nigeria. All of you, are you not living cough? All of us, are we not living dead? Mohbad was spy in 2022 or 2023. 3 years after, no justice for Mohbad. The stinking boy is rotting in mortuary, and you are here telling me that you bought fuel for 1,320. Shame on you for buying it. Anybody buying fuel for 1,320? Shame on you. You are a slave. Your father is a slave. Your mother is a slave. All of you are slaves, and you will die in slavery if you don't kill Tinubu, if you don't kill Akpabio, if you don't kill Tajudeen Disu, if you don't kill all these stupid governors. You will never have freedom. Look at what's going on in Oyo State right now. It's your greed.
Now, let us think about what just happened. A lot of people, when they first see this video, react to the anger. They focus on the profanity, the threats, the raw, unfiltered rage. And yes, those things are there. This video contains dangerous language. It contains calls to violence. That cannot be ignored, and it should not be celebrated. But if you stop at the anger, you miss the diagnosis. Because underneath the rage, under every shout, every curse, every declaration, there is a coherent argument. There is a man making a case. And whether you agree with him or not, that case deserves to be examined. What is he actually saying? He is saying that the cost of petrol, 1,320 naira, is a form of violence against poor people. He is saying that the removal of the fuel subsidy was not economic reform, it was extraction. He's saying that a government which borrows trillions, increases fuel prices, and fails to make refineries work, while poverty deepens and insecurity spreads, is not a government that deserves the silence of its people. And he's saying that silence at this point is not patience, it's complicity. Let us talk about the 1,320 naira figure for a moment, because this is not just a number, this is a wound. Before May 2023, Nigerians paid roughly 185 naira per litre of petrol. The subsidy was gone within the first sentence of the new administration. By 2025, prices had climbed past 1,000 naira. By 2026, they have crossed 1,300 naira. For a bus driver, a man whose entire livelihood runs on fuel, this is not an inconvenience, this is existential. Every litre he buys eats deeper into his margin. Every increase means either he charges passengers more, passengers who are also struggling, or he earns less. So when this man shouts about 1,320 naira, understand, he's not complaining about a policy, he's describing his life being compressed, day by day, fare by fare, into something barely survivable. And when the social media comments responded, when 40% of viewers said this man is right, when people typed amen under a video that contains calls to violence, that should tell you something. Not that Nigerians want blood, but that enough people feel sufficiently unheard, sufficiently unseen, sufficiently squeezed, that the most extreme voice in the room is the one that feels most honest to them. There's something else in this video that is easy to miss if you are focused on the loudness. This man does not trust any institution. Not the government, not the courts, not the professors, not the pastors, not even, and this is significant, God. He questions why a God who watches his people suffer daily should be prayed to at all. Now, you may find that offensive, but I want you to sit with what it means when a man's disillusionment has traveled all the way from the presidency to the divine. That is not just anger at Tinubu. That is a total collapse of faith in every structure that is supposed to protect ordinary people. We have seen this pattern before in other countries, in other eras. When people stop believing that any institution can save them, they begin to believe that only force can. And once that belief spreads from one bus driver to a significant percentage of a population, history tells us very clearly what happens next. The video itself is one data point, but the comment section is where the real story lives. Because one angry man on a bus is an outlier. One angry man whose video gets shared across 3 major platforms, endorsed by thousands with 40% of commenters saying this is correct, that is a trend. That is not one man's frustration. That is a measurement of national sentiment. And here is what makes it more sobering. The people endorsing this video are not all uneducated. They are not all poor. They are accountants who cannot afford to drive to work. They are teachers whose salaries have been consumed by inflation. The anger has gone middle class. That is a significant escalation. I want to be honest with you about something. This video frightens me. Not because of what the bus driver said, but because of what his words reveal about where we are. A society that is functioning does not produce viral videos like this. A government that has earned even basic legitimacy does not watch 40% of commenters cheer a man calling for heads to roll. This is not political theater. This is a pressure gauge, and it is reading very high. The question is not whether this man was right or wrong to say what he said. The question is what conditions produced him. What conditions made millions of people watch that video and feel, finally, someone said it. And the deeper question, the one that politicians, security agencies, and civil society should be sitting with right now is this. If a bus driver in Lagos is this angry, this articulating his rage, and this widely endorsed, what are the people who are less visible saying to each other in private? Nigeria is not a failed state, but it is a state under extraordinary stress. Insecurity in the north, economic collapse in the south, a political class that has insulated itself so completely from the consequences of its decisions that it has lost the ability to read the temperature of the country it governs. The bus driver's video will fade. These things always fade. The algorithm will move on. The news cycle will find a new moment. But the conditions that produce that video will not fade. They will compound. And the next video will be angrier, and the one after that will get more endorsements, until either something genuinely changes or something genuinely breaks. This is not a prophecy. It is a pattern. The question for every Nigerian watching, not the politicians, not the commentators, but you, is simple. What role do you want to play in what comes next? This has been an analysis of a moment, not an endorsement of violence, not a condemnation of anger, but an attempt to understand what we're actually looking at when a country speaks through the voice of a bus driver at midnight. Thank you for watching.